Hello, friendly viewers, and welcome to Planet Earth, Our Loving Home. With the return to more natural and sustainable lifestyles, organic food, which is both healthy and beneficial to the environment, is becoming more prominent around the world. On today's program, we will visit an organic farm in Austria. It uses no chemical fertilizers, pesticides, or animal-based fertilizers, and yet this farm reaps a plentiful harvest year-round. We now continue our tour with Helmut on his organic farm to find out how this is achieved.
The area behind me is what we do not use at the moment, but the garden is getting bigger and bigger every year because the demand is also getting bigger and bigger. We have also a lot of flowers in the garden in different colors, and they of course attract different insects which are necessary to fertilize some plants. Some plants only need wind for fertilizing, but some need also insects. And it's good to have some nice flowers inside because the insects like the different colors. Especially the blue flowers they like the most. And there are a lot of wild bees and humblebees here. You can see now here there are the plants, but there's also a lot of wild herbs in between. We can use also these wild herbs for making some juice. We just have to know which herbs we can use. So we have a small book that shows which herbs in our area are eatable. And this is what I can recommend to everybody. A nice little book about the wild herbs in the local area might be very helpful. Also, there is a lot of wild herbs in between the plants what we like to eat. You can see that these plants still develop very well.
What is this?
Mangold. Yeah, and the amount of vegetables we can harvest here on this small bit of land is around 6.5 tons.
How big can it grow if you don't cut it?
No, this is already the final state. They will not become bigger than maybe 6 kilos.
In one of the longest studies ever conducted on organic farming practices, research by the US-based Rodale Institute has found that organic soil management not only minimizes fossil fuel use, it can also reduce atmospheric carbon dioxide by removing it from the air and storing it as carbon in the soil. Scientists at the Institute estimate that if organic practices such as planting cover crops, composting, and crop rotation were implemented on the planet's 3.5 billion tillable acres, nearly 40% of current CO2 emissions could be absorbed.
These are potatoes. In our area, the farmer have a massive problem with the potato beetle or Colorado beetle. But I found out that when you put them on the pure soil, not bring them into the soil, then cover it with straw, they grow wonderful and they do not have hardly any beetle. Of course, we also do not use any pesticides. If you look at our plants, of course, they have some holes. There are a lot of animals here. Of course, they like the vegetables as much as we like them, but I always got enough harvest from them. Especially they are not so much because we have more a similar system like we have outside on the wild areas. It's more like a meadow here. So our plants are quite healthy and they are not attacked so strong by insects. To keep the plants healthy, it's also necessary to have some rotation system. There are only a few plants you can plant over more years on the same place, but it's better to let them rotate. So this year we have the squash and the zucchinis down there. Then we have all the brassica, and then we have fennel and beetroots and mangold on top. So next year we will have the beetroots and the mangold down there, and all the others are coming more up. What is also important to keep the insects under control is that you plant as early as possible. When the last frost is gone, or there are also plants, they can resist a little bit of late frost. So we start as early as possible, because then the plants, when the insects want to attack them, the plants are already strong and they have their natural oil to protect them. Of course, we try to start very early with planting the plants outside. So we have to start early in the greenhouse, putting the seeds into the sheets, so that the plants, when the time is right, are already quite big. Of course, these big plants are not so strongly attacked by insects, because when we plant, let's say, the little bit of frost-resistant plants outside, maybe in the end of April, third week of April, there are no insects. The insects, they are coming maybe at the end of May. So this plant is already strong enough to resist the insects. As you can see, we also have slugs here, but they do not make a lot of destruction. They do not eat a lot of our plants. I think as long as they have enough things which are rottening, they do not attack the normal plants. Of course, when they get too much, from time to time, I collect them and bring them down to the forest and tell them that they should stay there. And it looks like it works.
Helmut will present more about his natural cultivation method and his organic farm when Planet Earth, Our Loving Home returns. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to Planet Earth, Our Loving Home, featuring the innovative organic cultivation technology of Austrian organic farmer Helmut.
Most of the time I use this little ceramic knife because I have the impression that all the vegetables taste different if I cut them with a metal knife or with a ceramic knife. Also in the kitchen we use a ceramic knife. Now finally I want to show you the cellar where we prepare the vegetable boxes. I take the old boxes from the supermarket and we can use them a few more times for delivering our vegetables. So it's no need to buy new plastic boxes. We prepare between 15 and 35 for every delivering. We deliver twice a week. And we have a little bit more than 100 customers. So I show you now the cellar. It's cold in here. It's 9 meters into the solid stone. And on some parts of this ceiling, there's more than 1 meter of soil on top. So we do not have any problems with the temperature. Here we can prepare the boxes and keep them overnight, and in the morning they go into the car and they get delivered. And the people really have this vegetable as fresh as from their own garden. We also don't need any fridge in our house because the temperature is always very low in here, so we can keep all the things what we need, what we normally would put into a fridge. For the winter we have 2 more cellars for the storage. One is very old, like 300 years maybe, and the other one we made new. These are the cabbages, the beetroots, the parsley roots, the kohlrabi, the potatoes, and so on. So this is our oldest cellar. I think this is the oldest part of the house. The house is first mentioned in a contract in 1795. And when you come into the cellar, you can see that it's really that old. So here we store many things, especially the potatoes. We put them in bags, like onion bags, and then we cover it with this sand, and it keeps very well until June of next year. We still can take them out of this sand in a very good quality, and they are solid like harvested in autumn. And the same with beetroots and the parsley roots. It's also healthy, in my opinion, because it's not that cold like in a fridge. And so when you take something out of the cellar, you can eat this immediately without doing anything harm to your stomach. So this is my way of ecological and economical farming. We have short transport distances to the customers. This is good for the environment. We do not use any fertilizer. We do not use even animal fertilizers outside on the field. And this also protects the environment because when you use animal fertilizer, then a lot of methane gas and nitrate goes into the air. It's really enough when you only use grass cut and straw and all the waste from the kitchen what you have. As I already told, a family needs around 300 square meter and can save a lot of money with this when one person works 1 hour a day. And a very important thing is also that the organic food produced in this way is very healthy. So you have a lot of benefit for your body also. So if anybody has a little piece of land, he can produce some vegetables on it. He can bring it to the towns because there are so many people who are waiting for really good quality. It is really good for the environment because we do not have these long transports. This also saves money, saves a lot of money for the government if people eat more healthy. And finally, it's also good for us. This way of producing vegetables we do since the year 1989, and it still works, and it's getting better and better. And the demand is getting more and more every year. So it would be necessary to produce more.
We commend Helmut for his environmentally friendly organic farming method. May the ease and benefits of natural farming inspire many more people to reap their own bountiful harvests. Thank you for joining us today on Planet Earth, Our Loving Home. Our show airs every Wednesday on Supreme Master Television. Up next, stay tuned for enlightening entertainment right after noteworthy news. We wish you have a blessed life filled with divine light and love from heaven.